Have you ever looked at your teenager and you see them being happy today and tomorrow they are moody? Not just moody, you find out that little thing they are paranoid, and the next thing you see them destroying things in the home, going to the kitchen, destroying utensils. Some of them at the end of the day might even be causing self-harm to themselves, and also in the process disrespect you as their parents. Well, you are not alone in it if you have teenagers. What if I tell you something? That this anger these your teenagers are exhibiting might not be a way to disrespect you. Rather, is in a pain, they are in a painful mood that cannot be expressed through words. And the only way they could do it is by reacting in a negative way. Well, on today's topic, I will be talking on ways that we can use to tame our children in anger, or help our children whenever they are angry, without us destroying the relationship we've built over the years. Hello, my lovely parents. Welcome to another exciting episode with Mom of Things. And if you are new to this channel, this is Mom of Things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and also drop a meaningful comment if you know that this video is helpful to you. Well, I will start with this. Rate your anger level from 0 to scale of 0 to 10. Rate it and let's see how you can become angry or extremely angry. Even if you know your teenagers, can you rate their anger level between 0 to 10? 0 is the least, while 10 is the highest. Let's see. Please drop it in the comment section. Another question I would like to ask is this: how do you handle yourself, or how do you cope, or should I say, how do you manage anger whenever you are angry? Drop it in the comment section. We are all learning. Mine will also be in the comment section. Let's see you as a parent, and also if you are a teenager, you watch this video. So tell us, how do you manage your anger level whenever you are angry, so we can learn, and other people that are watching will also learn. So now you've understood. You look at your teenagers. I know of a parent that said, I don't even know my child, because when the child is angry, he becomes something else. I am wondering where I got it wrong in parenting. And something happened between the child and the siblings. And the way the child, the teenagers reacted, got the mom shocking. I was like, what do I do? How do I stop this character? Because if this child grow up with this character, it becomes something else that everybody will be thinking he is not normal. Because if me, the mother, can be scared of this child getting angry, I wonder when this child leaves my home and goes outside to the society, what will happen? What if he now start having family and the wife provokes him? The next thing, I don't understand, I don't know what will happen to the spouse. And she became worried and she brought it to me. And I told her one thing. I said, the only thing you can do now is start teaching the child how to handle himself whenever he is angry. That he shouldn't lash it out on his siblings. Actually, he was lashing because he was angry, he was putting it on the siblings. And little thing, he will hit the siblings the way he likes and smash things the way he likes. And because of this character, the mom became scared. So you might be also a parent that have a child that the anger level is at the threshold of 10, which is according to my scale 10. And you're wondering, how will you deal with this kind of a thing? Because you and I know that if that child grows up with that attitude, it is not something that will be good for him in the future, because he might end up making a wrong move with that anger level and something terrible will happen. So let's dive into it. Sometimes when our children get angry, it's as a result of the pain in them. And because they cannot express such pain, you find out that they start doing things that will attract your attention. And one of it is this anger. So now you have a teenager that is always angry, and you are wondering, how do you help this child? First and foremost, know one thing, that if this child is an adolescent getting into teenage or preteen or teen, just know that one of the reasons that could cause this could be hormonal changes. You find out that there is no way that your teenager will pass through the teenage phase without having emotional imbalance. I call it emotional imbalance because they have mood swing, they have different kind of emotions that comes in and goes in. And that is why during teenage age, you find out that your teenager might want to even fight you because of some things you might have said to them or the way you reacted to them, and they will pick offense, and the next thing you see them start doing things to hit back at you. And if you have teenagers and you know this attitude, you've been saying it, this is not the time to start yelling, to start beating, or start pushing the child away. This is the time to sit there and calculate, how can I help this child? First and foremost, let the child know that the body is changing, and these are some of the ways you react because you cannot control what is coming in your body. And because you cannot control it, you react this way. So instead of doing this way, why not let us do it in another direction, so that whenever you get angry, you don't start yelling, you don't start hitting your sibling, you don't start giving yourself self-harm or destroying things in the home. Then you start telling the child, what do you love to do? The first thing is ask that child actually, what does that child love to do? If that child loves reading, then you start getting books for the child. If that child loves playing games, then you start introducing games to the child. Whenever the child is angry, you can just say, okay, can you just go play some game and see whether you can calm down? And it has actually helped over the years. And sometimes if you know the child like taking a stroll or walk, you can just tell the child, okay, can you leave the house? Go take a walk so that you can clear your head, clear yourself, and just breathe a fresh new air. You find out that with this, you are helping the child to know what he or she is doing. And whenever the child is angry, because the child already knows that, oh, whenever I'm angry, this is what I do. Instead of the child reacting negatively by hitting or by destroying things, you just say the person take a walk, slam the door, and just go outside, take a walk. And when the person comes back, the first thing will tell you, I am sorry for my outburst. I hope I am telling you something today. So if you teach your child this method, then when your child gets into adulthood, no matter how provoked that child is, you find out that that method has always worked. That is why you see, as most adults, whenever they are angry, they will just carefully leave the home, because they know that when they react, it might be in a negative way and in an extreme way. So they will just leave, clear their head, and by the time they come back, they will now kind of sit down, listen to how the matter will be resolved as a family. So instead of you yelling, talking, shouting, and hitting and looking for what to do to the child, the best thing is that thing that that child likes doing the best. Introduce. Some of them like doing chores. So you just tell them, okay, go and do the chores. Okay, you can clean the ground. Okay, you can sweep. You can take the dogs for walk. And this will help. Another thing that could cause a child to be extremely angry. If you've watched my video on betrayal, then you understand when a child is being betrayed. And remember, a teenager can be betrayed by friends and even by parents. So if that child feel betrayed by the parent, that child could go extreme to start reacting in a negative way. And that is why, if you watch my video in about betrayal, I told us as parents that we should try as much as possible, make sure we don't betray our teenagers. Because one of the greatest things that will happen if you betray your teenager as a parent is they've lost trust in you. And in losing trust means that there's nothing you tell them that they will listen. In fact, they will see you as the enemy. So now you've understood that, oh, this could be as a result of betrayal. What do I do? The first is apologize and start giving reasons why that thing was being done like that. So this is not the time to start claiming, I am your senior, I am your mother, I am your father, I can do whatsoever I want to do. You don't have right to tell me what to do and what not to do. This is not the time, because if you push this child to the extreme, the child will react in a negative way. And one of the ways is anger. So you've offended the child, you've betrayed the teenager, and you said the teenager should not react. But your action could be the one that will resolve the case just in a simple manner by owing to your mistakes. And one of the things a lot of us parents don't want to agree is that, owing to our mistake because we feel that we are the one that gave birth to them. We feel that, oh, they cannot do it. Am I not the one that gave birth to them? Am I not their senior? So why should it happen? It was bound to happen. I couldn't keep it, so I had to just let it go. No, that child confided in you and you betrayed that child's trust. So because of that, some certain actions are being seen on that particular teenager. So for me, what I will still tell you is own up to that. And by the time you own up and tell the child the reasons, and make sure you tell the child, assure the child that such a thing will not happen again, and see how it go. You find out that that anger attitude you to just be going. And if that child is brought up in a way that whenever something happens, there's a betrayal, and you come out to open up and to own up and apologize, that child will not have anything against you. Rather, the child will move on. And no matter the pain, because you've apologized, he or she does not have a choice than to let go. So, if you've watched to this extent and you understand what I am saying, please drop it in the comment section. And I will ask you again in this middle video, have you dropped your threshold on anger from scale 0 to 10? Another way, have you dropped a comment on how you manage anger? It is very important. You see, just like I said, a lot of us parents are battling anger about with our teenagers. If you have a teenager and you say your teenager does not have an anger problem, you are not actually telling us the truth. Because in one way or the other, that child must have reacted. Like I said, we talk about ways that will make these children to become angry. One is hormonal, two, betrayal. Another way is maybe they are having pains or they have something bothering them that is not answered. This one is common with them because sometimes they want to tell you something and they don't know how to tell you. In a way to react, they will just bring it in anger. That is why sometimes when they are angry, a parent that knows this for a teenager will just sit them down. What is the problem? You see, at that moment, because you already understand your teenager, that for your teenager to react this way, there is something bothering the child, and you already understood. So sitting the child down to tell the child what is the problem, and if you know a way of coercing your teenager to talk, you find out that your teenager will start talking, and you start seeing where the problem is coming from. Like I said, most angers are not born to disrespect you. Sometimes it could be in the place of pain that cannot be spoken out with words. And if you don't know how to handle your teenager or how to talk to them, how will you know that something is actually wrong somewhere? So your child just wake up in the morning or anytime and the next thing become moody, little thing irritate, and you know you've not offended the child, nobody has betrayed the child, and you are wondering what could be happening. Then the next thing you should know that there's something bothering this child, and the only way to draw your attention is by acting that way. So if you have a teenager that is constantly acting like this and you've not sat the teenager down to ask the question, what is wrong? Then you are doing it wrongly. And sometimes even when you ask them, they will tell you, Mommy, nothing is wrong. Daddy, there's nothing wrong. I don't just know what came over me. But if you understand your teenagers very well, then you will know that something is actually wrong. Then as a parent, this is where you start telling the child, oh, when you act like this, I know something is wrong. When you act like this, I know this is it. When you act like this, so you cannot tell me nothing is wrong. I am your mother, I am your father. Can you just open up and let's talk about it? If it is something I cannot handle, I might help you to seek help, but you have to open up to tell me. Try this method and see your child opening up. And that is just some of the things you as a parent will need to be doing. So sometimes you don't even know that your children are even angry, your teenagers are even angry, because we have I don't care parents. Sometimes they don't even show this anger physically, but within them they are boiling. Most times you don't even see them. How do you know that your child is having anger issue? Sometimes you see them whenever something happens, because they don't want to react, they will lock themselves inside the house. They will just be there. Nobody talks to them. Nobody nears them. They become a tiger in the home. There you know that something is wrong. Sometimes little things they want to revenge. Yes, little thing you see them, they want to revenge or commit something that will hurt the next person. Then you know that your child is battling with anger issues. And these are the times you need to start becoming a mother. You need to start becoming a father to that particular child. You see, we see issues with married couples, adults, because they are unable to handle their anger issues. What am I saying? The rate of divorce now, you find out that one of the things that is causing it is anger. The spouse will tell you he has anger issue. Little thing he has hit me, little thing he has done this one, little thing he cannot control himself when it comes to anger. And anger is so bad that it doesn't respect anybody. And if that anger is not being dealt with while that child is still a teenager, when that child grows up, it doesn't respect anybody. That character will always come out. And that is why you see some people, they are so hardened because of the way they become so angry that nothing seems evil or good in their eyes. You and I will understand as a parent what I'm talking about. That a young guy or a young adult will take his time to hit his spouse because whenever he is angry, that is what he wants to do. And that's what he grew up with. What do they call it now again? Discipline the children or bullying the younger ones because of anger. And anywhere that child goes, what do they say? They will keep, see people keep complaining that you have anger issue. What is your parents doing about it? Sometimes parents will start praying, oh God, remove the, it's good to pray, but it is good for you to be proactive. Do it now while this child is still in teenager, because this is where you can handle the child. You see, it is a place of anger that a teenager can plan against another teenager. It is a place of anger that a teenager will be thinking of unaliving a human being. And if you think that this thing will go away over the period of time, let me tell you, it is 50-50. Let me 70-30. The possibility of that child leaving that character is 30%. The other one is he might not leave it. It might be something that will go with that child throughout his or her life. And that is what we are breeding. You find a little thing, you see people fighting on the internet. What result is anger. So this is a place where you as a parent will come in to help that child. Don't overlook a child's anger. Don't overlook a child acting extreme. Some children can so act extreme that even their parents cannot control. That thing did not start now. It starts at a stage. And because you were not there to tame it, to make sure that that child does not exhibit such character, now even you are even scared of your own child. We've heard of parents saying that I cannot talk because if I talk, I don't know what next he will do. This guy can unalive me even while I am sleeping. I heard of a story in the social media where the woman said, I am running from my child because I don't know if he comes near me, whether I'll wake up in the morning. This is a child that grew up with you. This is a child you brought up. This is a child that you betted. And the child, you are scared of the child. This habit is not something that just grew all of a sudden. It has been in that child gradual, and that thing becomes a big tree that cannot be chopped down. That is why when a child is crying and is hitting things on the wall, the food you gave the child spilled it, and you are saying, leave the child, he is just being angry. That is the starting point. Or another thing, the child is hungry, he's hitting you, the mother is punching you as a child of 4, 5, 6, 7, and you are saying, oh, he's just a child, just leave him. No, tomorrow that child will beat you up because of anger. And that is why I am telling you that if you have a child now, a younger one, that is acting this way. It is time for you to start stopping the child. When that child throw away food, it is time to discipline that child and not to pet the child and say, oh, he's just angry. He doesn't want it. Why did you do it? No, that is where you start telling this child, this character will lead to destruction. So now, because I don't want you to be destroyed, you have to start stopping it. And that is a good sign that you are doing a good parenting as a parent. So if you watch to this extent, we want to know what ways can be used to tame anger in teenagers. If you have, you can drop it in the comment section. Let parents learn and let's see how this can help a parent. And if you are new to this channel, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and also drop a meaningful comment. I am Omoye Awudu, and until I come your way next time with another parenting tips, please stay tuned, watch my video, and have a beautiful day. Yes, this is Mom of Things, and I'm saying stay blessed.